Well, hello there and welcome to Grounded Kids Assembly. As you can see, I have a new tool right behind me, which is called the green screen. It's just a big green cloth, really, but with the magic of special effects, we can change the background, change it again, or change it again. We can do so many fun things, and so I'm looking forward to using this tool with you through chapels and Grounded Kids Assemblies. This month, as you can see, it is Christmas. It's a time that we love to celebrate Jesus' birth and about love and about sharing with other people. We'll be focusing this month on being good neighbors to those around us. But before we get into that, we're going to start with the opening brought to us by members of Miss Rothgeb's kindergarten class.
Put your right hand on your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ready, begin. I'm a peaceholder. I pledge to praise people, give up, put down, see life, who live, show up, pick up about hers. I have got the right route to help others. I live in peace at home, at school, at unity each day. Please bow your heads for prayer. Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. Help us to make wise choices. Have a great day. Amen. Sing of happy school days, where we learn to stand for truth. Rightly training character in the early days of youth. Oh, Melinda Academy, we pledge our honor true. We will fly our colors loyally and will long remember you. Ardent and united as we study day by day, when knowledge forms character into LLA. Let us strive for victory. There is much that we can do. We will pledge our loyalty as we train for service true. Oh, Linda Academy, we pledge our honor true. We will fly our colors loyally and will long remember you. Ardent and united as we study day by day, where knowledge forms character in dear LLA.
Now is the time where we get to celebrate some of you for applying our 4 core values. First, from Mrs. Robinson's class, for showing emotional intelligence. This person helped his classmates by tying his shoes. Zach Tan. For showing integrity from Mrs. Shelton's class, this person returned money that she found to the office. Giselle Villaforte. For showing integrity in Miss Lee's class, this person turned in a lost lunch ticket to the office. Armand Kelly. Also showing integrity in Mrs. Swaminas's class, for always helping with tech problems for the Zoomies. This is Ronan Tabingo. Also from Mrs. Swaminas's class, this person shows integrity by being always willing to lend a helping hand, especially when there is a substitute. Samantha Romer. And finally, one of our remote learners who's recognized by his mom. His mom says that this student, when they were driving this past weekend, they stopped for gas at a gas station, and there was a guy who was trying to pay for gas with a card, but it didn't work. So he asked the mom for cash, but she didn't have any. So this student opened up his own wallet and took a $20 bill out and said, "This guy needs gas," and handed the guy the $20 bill so that he was able to get gas. That's showing some great emotional intelligence, respect, integrity, and generosity too. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Drew Smith. Now, boys and girls, let's recite our 4 core values together. The first one is emotional intelligence, the power to see, understand, and impact feelings. The second one is respect, the power to treat yourself and others like God's children. Third, integrity, the power to do the right thing at all times. And finally, grit, the power to never give up on your goals even when it's tough. For the rest of this month, we're going to be focusing on emotional intelligence as we talk about a very special topic. And to do that, I want you to sit back, relax, close your eyes. For those of you who are older in the room, this might be a walk down memory lane for you. For those of you who are younger, this might be completely brand new to you. And for some of you, you may be a little familiar with this. Join me as we experience Grounded Kids Assembly from our LLA neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor?
Well, hello there, neighbor. I'm so happy that you are part of the LLA neighborhood. And I'm extra happy that you've joined us during the holiday season, because for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be focusing on a topic that is really connected with Christmas. It's something that's very important to each of us. It gives us courage to act. It makes us feel good inside. It's free, but it's something that's so valuable. It's something that we can give to other people every single day. Do you have any ideas about what I'm talking about? It's a word that has 4 letters. L-O-V-E. Love. The Bible tells us that God is love. It's the deepest, most wonderful part of His character. It's who He is. Through His love, He created the world. Because of His love, He died for us. And because of His love, He walks with us each and every day and is with us no matter what we go through. And that love is what we celebrate at Christmas time. That God would send His Son to be born as a baby here on earth. And because of that love, during Christmas time especially, we often focus on sharing love with others. Because God's love is not just meant to come and fill each of our hearts, but it's meant for us to share outward with other people. He asks us to love one another as He has loved us. And He says that by this will everyone know that we are His followers, if we love one another. But how do we love others? Now that can be a little bit more of a challenging question to answer, because there are many ways to say I love you. There are many ways to say I care about you. Many ways, so many ways to say I love you. There's the gifting way to say I love you. There's the words of affirmation way to say I love you. The serving way, the touching way, the spending time way to say I love you. So, during the next 2 weeks before Christmas break, we're going to be talking about 5 different ways that we can say I love you. Now, this comes from a book by Gary Chapman called The 5 Love Languages. And each of those love languages are different ways of expressing love. First, there's gifts, sharing gifts with other people. The second way is through words of affirmation. The third way is through service. The fourth way is through physical touch. And finally, the last way is through quality time. Now, Gary Chapman calls it the 5 love languages because just like languages, when you speak a language, it doesn't really do any good for anybody else unless they can understand the language that you're speaking. In the same way, when we share love with other people, there are certain ways that other people can understand our love better than other ways. How many of you out there love to have hugs? Raise your hand. How many of you don't like hugs? You're like, get away, I don't want you to touch me. As you can see, there's some of both, because physical touch is one way to express love, but not everyone appreciates having physical touch as a way of showing love. Some of you, if one of your family members cleaned your room for you, it was an act of service for you, you'd be like, oh, that's so amazing, they're such wonderful family members. But some of you would be like, whatever, I didn't want to clean my room anyway. Because acts of service is a way that some people receive love and other people don't really care so much about. Gifts. At Christmas time, probably a lot of you out there feel loved when you receive a gift. But some of you, gifts aren't that important, and you'd rather just spend quality time with somebody and be with them, play with them, and do things together. Because quality time is much more of your love language. And finally, there's some of you who love words of affirmation. When someone says a compliment to you that builds you up, notices something that's nice about you and lets you know that speaks love to you. To better understand more about each of the 5 love languages, we're going to be taking trips to visit people in our neighborhood who are great at sharing God's love with other people in these 5 different ways. Plus, because it's Christmas, we'll be opening up 5 gifts, and in each of the gifts, we'll find an object that represents one of our love languages. The first gift that we're going to open up is this one right here. And inside this gift is a gift. Because the first love language that we're going to learn together is about gifts. And to do this, we're going to visit one of my very good friends who is a great neighbor. I actually wished I lived next door to her. She's somebody who readily shares love to others by making edible gifts that she can share with others. Her name is Mrs. Leukert. She's the mom of Kaylee and Liana Leukert, who are students at our school. And we're going to take a little trip to her kitchen. Would you like to come along? Let's go for a little visit.
Good morning, Mr. Coe and boys and girls at Loma Linda Elementary. Come on in, welcome to our house. I understand you're taking a tour of your neighborhood and meeting different neighbors. Well, we are glad that you are in our home. I'm Mrs. Leukert, and this is Kaylee. And who else lives with us? Fiona and Garrett and Liana and Mr. Leukert. Maybe you know one of them or are in class with one of them. Well, I understand that you are going to be talking today about gift giving and also meeting different neighbors in your neighborhood. And we really like this season because we really enjoy giving things to people and sharing our gifts with others. And one of the things we like to do most is bake. Well, I say we, but I like to bake. Kaylee is rarely in the kitchen with me. But we thought that we would gift our neighbors with pumpkin rolls. Have you ever had a pumpkin roll? They're very good, and we're gonna show you how to make them. And we're gonna package them up and give them to our neighbors, and that will be part of our holiday spirit. So we're hoping you're gonna hang out with us while we do that. So I'm gonna put some pumpkin in. While Kaylee, do you think you could crack the eggs and put them in here?
Okay.
Now, Mr. Coe is going to add a link to the directions if you would like to do this at home. It really is not that difficult. If you can follow directions, you can make a pumpkin roll. So we're gonna get those eggs in there. We've got some pumpkin. Oh, let's see, how about some sugar? Pumpkin rolls are a little bit sweet, so let's wait for, oh, good job. No shells in there. Let's put some sugar in. We're gonna put a dash of vanilla. You want to put some vanilla in?
I can mix it.
Oh, I think you'll be okay. Great job. All right, so let's mix this all up, shall we? I'm gonna put this over here. All right, let's dump the dry ingredients in, shall we? How about you dump the flour in? Do any of you like to bake at home with your parents or your grandma and grandpa? Let's see, flour and baking soda. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and I'm not gonna measure. It's okay, it will still turn out all right, I promise. How about some salt? Okay, stick out your hand, Kaylee. All right, Well, we're giving a gift, so this had better turn out delicious, huh? Okay, and then a good smattering of cinnamon. All right, can you start that mixing up again? I'm going to just put some parchment paper on here. And we'll give that a good spray. Look at that. That wasn't too bad, was it, boys and girls? We're gonna put this beautiful pumpkin roll batter right onto our pan. Ooh, what do you think about that? I think this is gonna make a nice gift, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
We've got some neighbors who I think will enjoy eating this all up. Kaylee, what is one of your favorite gifts that you have gotten?
I think a journal.
Oh, a journal, huh? How about a gift that you have given? Do you have a favorite gift that you have given?
I don't know. I just like giving any of them. I just love seeing the expression on people's face.
So you're saying you like giving gifts more than getting?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, I think we're good to go. You want to stick it in the oven?
No.
I will stick it in the oven. Kaylee does not like ovens or hot things. So there it goes, and we're gonna set a timer for 15 minutes. Okay, the 15 minutes is up. Let's keep going with our gift here that we are baking. Ooh, doesn't that look good? Well, now comes the slightly tricky part that you might need an adult's help on. So you have to get it out and onto a towel that has been sprinkled with powdered sugar. So here we go. Okay, Casey, are you gonna help? There you go. No, take that. Oh, okay, you're not gonna help. Fantastic. So on we go. I'm gonna flip it. 1, 2, 3. Not bad, right? We're gonna peel off that parchment paper, and while it's nice and hot, we're gonna roll it up because that's how we get the shape of a pumpkin roll. We've got this nice little package. Look, it almost looks like a gift right there, but we're not done yet. So we're gonna put it on a wire rack to cool for 1 hour. Well, we're ready. Here it is. We've waited, it's cooled. We are going to put some filling on. And this has some cream cheese and some sugar. Why don't you go ahead and spread that on? I do enjoy baking. I like giving people gifts of food and seeing their eyes light up. Because I think that giving gifts, why do people like getting gifts, Kaylee? Why do you think they like it?
It's just gifts.
Yeah?
Like to add to your collection.
To add to your collection of
and it's
things.
new, so it's also very exciting.
That is true. We like new things. We like surprises. But don't you think it also means that somebody's been thinking about you? Somebody thought of you specifically and they wanted to give you something special. I hope that our neighbors enjoy this gift that we're giving them. There's our roll. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Okay, now we will have to saran wrap it up though. So I'm gonna take some wrap and then Kaylee, can you plop it on there? So we are gonna roll it up nice and tightly and make sure that it gets in our fridge for an hour. Okay, we are almost done, boys and girls. We are almost ready to deliver our gifts to our neighbors. Look at our finished pumpkin roll. Isn't that beautiful? So let's slice it up. Kaylee, why don't you we have these fancy schmancy boxes that we're gonna put this in. So I'm gonna slice up this pumpkin roll. Whoop. And we will put some in our neighbors' boxes. And then maybe you can come along with us while we deliver one. Perfect. I think that looks like a really nice gift box. What do you think, boys and girls? See how much fun this is to gift and to share with others? Oh, I can't wait to see our neighbors' faces when we pull up with this. All right. So do you want to come with us? We are going to go gift our neighbor with this special box that we've prepared now. Well, here we are at our neighbor's house. We can't wait to gift them with this box. Oh, I bet they're gonna really enjoy it. Okay, put it there. I wanted you to knock on the door. Oh, neighbors! Hey, neighbors!
Oh, hi!
We brought a gift for you.
Wow!
We wanted to bake something, and given that it's the season of giving, we wanted to give you this gift.
That's so generous, thank you!
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow!
Oh,
Cookies
my
and pumpkin
goodness.
roll and tangerines. Thank you, guys!
That looks amazing.
This is wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're so glad we're neighbors.
Merry
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Neighbor, do you like receiving gifts? Do you like sharing gifts? Does it matter to you if someone gives you a gift that was bought at a store versus something that they made for you? It's funny sometimes how things that are made for you often don't cost as much money, but sometimes they can be even more valuable. So gift giving is one of the 5 love languages. Now the second love language that we're going to talk about is one that can be represented by this gift right here. Wonder what's inside. Pocket Dictionary Chinese. Oxford Color Spanish Dictionary. What do dictionaries have to do with love? Well, when you look inside a dictionary, what do you see? Words. Tons of words. Because the second love language that we're going to talk about is the gift of words of affirmation. Now, affirmation is a really big word. You might think, what does affirmation mean? It simply means that you see something good in someone and you say it to them through your words. It's by encouraging them, sharing a compliment with them, saying something kind to somebody else. And by doing so, you're affirming them through your words, which is why we call it words of affirmation. And when I think of words of affirmation, there's one neighbor of mine that I think does this really well. You might remember her because she spoke for us for our Black History Month chapel last year. Her name is Miss Keturah, and Miss Keturah has an amazing way of affirming others through her words, both personally in real life and also through her YouTube channel, which is called Live It Up, where she shares words that help to build other people up. Let's take a little walk to the park, shall we, and visit a little bit more with Miss Keturah.
Words have power. This thing here, our tongue, it has power. We can use our words to uplift or tear down ourselves with self-talk and also each other. The Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21, that the tongue has the power of life and death. I'm sure you can think of a time when someone blessed you, encouraged you with their words. Perhaps they complimented you on what you were wearing. Perhaps it was a dress or a bow tie, and upon their compliments, you stood even taller. You were proud. Your day was sweeter because of their compliments. But I'm sure you can also think of a time when someone said something hurtful to you. Perhaps it was teasing or bullying, and their words cut deep. I remember growing up in a small church in Louisiana where I was very involved as a young person. I was in Pathfinders, I did things up front, and one Sabbath I presented the mission story. And right after, a member pulled me aside and said, "Keturah, you did such a great job. You have a talent for being up front." And her words sparked something within me. I did all kinds of things up front. I did sermonettes, scripture reading, children's story, and I remember having such confidence because of what this church member told me. I also remember after college working at one of my first jobs, and I was still learning. I don't remember what the person said, but I remember how I felt. I made a mistake, and an individual yelled at me, said some hurtful things, and I remember being so sad and embarrassed. I just wanted to leave and pull myself together. That person's words made me feel so small. I love celebrating others. When I see someone doing a good job, whether at church or at the store, at a restaurant, wherever I go, I try to stop, look that person in the eye, and tell them thank you. Tell them what I saw, why I appreciate them. Sometimes I'll read encouraging messages online, and if there is an email address for the writer, I will email the writer and tell them that their message blessed me and why. I believe one of the ways we share the love of God is through stopping and noticing each other and sharing words of affirmation. You can use your words to show love by complimenting someone. Perhaps it's their sense of humor or kind, generous heart. Perhaps you have a friend who's quite the artist. Tell them about it. Perhaps you have a friend who is great at sports. Tell your friend about it. Perhaps you have a friend who's a great cook. Tell them what your favorite dish is and why. Tell your family how much you love them. There are so many ways we can use our words to bless others. I created my YouTube channel, Live It Up, to inspire people to live their best life. And I believe there are so many ways to do that. Sharing the love of God, serving others, eating right, exercising, traveling, learning about different cultures, and so much more. I try to focus in on stories like these, and my hope and prayer is that people will watch these videos and leave inspired.
Wow, isn't it amazing that we can use our words to affirm others and to share love with them? I'm sure each one of you has experienced the joy inside your heart when somebody used a kind word to compliment you, to praise you for something, to speak truth to you about the good things that they see inside of you. And unfortunately, probably most of you have experienced the opposite too, where someone has used their words to tear you down or to put you down, or to say the things that they see in you that are bad. We know how sad that makes us feel. It's amazing that unlike gifts, words of affirmation are completely free of charge. They don't cost you anything, but we all know how valuable they are still in building us up from the inside out. Well, those are just 2 of the 5 love languages. Next week, we're going to talk about the 3 other love languages. Can't wait to share with you more from our neighborhood. But today, I want to end off with a challenge. I want to challenge you to do a project that will apply both of these love languages, gifts and words of affirmation. It also involves one of my favorite parts of Christmas, Christmas cards. Christmas cards are kind of a nice gift that you receive in the mail from somebody else that lets you know that they were thinking about you, and also they include words that can build you up, encourage you, and bring joy during the holidays. Mr. Guptill, our Director of Marketing at Loma Linda Academy, has created these cards that you can write, color, decorate, and write special words in, and we're going to send all of these cards to senior citizens in our own neighborhood. These are senior citizens from our largest constituent church, Loma Linda University Church. There are 600 of them in our list, and if we all work together, we can accomplish our challenge of writing 600 Christmas cards that we can share with our neighbors. For all of you on campus, your teachers will pass these out to you, and you'll have to get this done before next Friday when we go on Christmas break. And then we as a school can send them out in the mail so that all of our neighbors can receive these Christmas cards with words of affirmation. Now, if you're a remote learner, there are plenty of them that are in the office. So if you'd like to come to campus and pick up a card, you're welcome to do so. And if you're one of our 5 classes that are on quarantine right now, some of your teachers, if they have a pickup day where you're going to pick up supplies, they may include some of these cards in there for you to do. If you don't have a pickup day, again, we will have plenty of them in the office if you'd like to participate. Or if you don't want to come to campus, you can always apply this right in your home by making your own Christmas card to send to somebody else, to affirm them, to give them a little surprise gift for the holidays. If you are doing this from home and you pick up one of these cards and you fill it out and color it and decorate it, you can either bring it back to school and we'd be happy to mail it out for you, Or if you want to put your own stamp on it and send it directly in the mail, you're welcome to do that as well. We'll collect all of these Christmas cards by next Friday, and then we'll send a lot of love to our... And by doing this, we will be sharing Jesus' love in a very special way. Let's pray. Dear Father in heaven, we thank you so much for your amazing love that we remember, especially at Christmas time. We want to thank you for challenging each of us to be people who share your love with our communities and in our neighborhoods each day. Please be with each of us as we work on our Christmas cards and as we learn to share your love in a variety of ways to our family members, our friends, and to all of our neighbors. In your name we pray, amen. I know that each one of you are loving neighbors and that you're going to find many ways to share love with other people through gifts and through words of affirmation. You'll find many ways to say I love you. You'll find many ways to understand what love is. Many ways, so many ways to say I love you. Well, thanks for joining me here today, neighbor. I'll see you again next week.